painting. That was what I was working on last time. I'm still not necessarily sure how good of a job I'm doing, but we will figure that out. Yeah, hopefully, guys. Anyone got anything fun planned for the weekend? All right. What? What is happening? What is happening? I should be able to. I didn't change anything with my fucking controls, did I? Stuff. My plans are for July, like planning on going to see Superman. I'm pretty sure that this, yeah, this is the paper texture. Why is it giving me this now? Weird. I'm gonna have to like, I swear to God, if Flip Studio Paint just, like, silently changed a bunch of, if it just silently, oh, it's because I had a different tool selected. Okay, that's why. That would explain it. All right. To some degree, I am largely just, I think, because this is going to be a learning process for me trying to figure out how
Starkey and I could be planning something. We might not have planned shit. It's a mystery, and we shall not tell you about any potential plans until it is too late and you all are drones.
until you're all are until you all are drones. I swear to God. There is something we are working on. I'll acknowledge that much, but beyond that, I'm keeping quiet because it is an active work in progress. Music's a bit loud, IMO. Sorry, I found a crazy card in MTG. It's in the video to watch channel. Let me do a quick look to see if I recognize it off the top of my head. If it's one of the new ones, there's a very real chance. Okay, yeah, it's Yuna. Okay, Yuna's the one that just, like, lets you cheat shit into play, right? Yeah, refuse to go to detail. Okay. So I think the first step of painting is just getting the shapes. No, it's the counter version. Okay. I mean, let's see what silly stuff, like, it is Magic the Gathering, so we can do a quick look at. It's fucking crazy. Oh, it's crazy go with the Ozolith. That's every counter commander though. Might as well be telling me that the counter commanders are good with, like, hardened scales. It's like, oh yeah, of course they are. They're literally the fucking card that interacts with them. Watch it. I'm watching it. Don't worry. All right, where's the music? Also, it might just be that I need to, like, bump the music volume down because it is quiet for me. Yeah, music's playing like 100% for whatever reason. Good lord. Welcome on, Oceana. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Today we would I was considering working on because we need a Orbify lock. Problem is I didn't get his ref sheet, so, or, like, I didn't get, like, a visual reference to work with. All right. Might want to send lock a DM. Already dead.
Spin! Spin!
Okay.
Spin!
Welcome on, Shadow. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean.
Spin! Spin!
Okay. Yeah. It's just adding a new version. Yeah, so it just doubles counters with Ozolith. Thank you for shouting out Shadow, by the way. That's my Borb. Yeah, I added all the Borbs. Yeah. Well, you said start getting audio file for the screen to play when you spin.
Spin!
I'm pretty underwhelmed. I mean, listen, it's one of those things where it's
Spin!
like Magic the Gathering cards always look better in a vacuum.
Spin!
Like I'm sure people are going to find ways to
Spin!
break it, but like as a single bespoke cards, there are more problematic big
Spin!
cards. I'll be honest. The current ones to beat are basically the Eldraine, like, you know, still easier than trying to understand Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, absolutely. Yu-Gi-Oh is genuinely like it is well past the realm of like I'm trying to understand what's happening and well into the realm of I don't fucking care anymore. But it's permanent, the caveat. But it's any permanent, the caveat. I mean, listen. Say for example, Mystic Remora. The problem is the problem is that Mystic Remora is more valuable the earlier you play it. You have to remember, Yuna's 4 mana. 4 mana, if it were less than 4 mana, I would be more concerned. Because at 4 mana, that's a pretty penny, a pretty chunk of mana to have to spend on an ability like that. The Walking Ballistic Infinite in the Titus precon. Did they just accidentally give a pre-constructed deck an infinite? Because, like, given the direction that precons seem to be going recently, it wouldn't necessarily surprise me. You can do the Walking Ballista Infinite turn 3. Yes. Oh, Wizards. I'll be honest with you, like, as time has gone on, more and more, I've just been fucking frustrated with Magic the Gathering. I have my decks, and I'm pretty like ambivalent to getting a new deck. Like I don't know, it just feels like every single thing that they're doing is like, look at what Erratic Phoenix. Let me Sweet Bean. What's up, Chris?
I play the Pokemon TCG Pocket. Instead of having to worry about mana and complex effects, I get to each orc and get 12 Salazzle cards where none of them are good.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, Pokemon has its own fucked up bullshit. Every card game has some fucked up, like, bizarre, counterintuitive rules interaction. But no, let's talk about our Rag things. Glad to have you. Aren't you supposed to be getting ready for the thing tonight? Or are you just stopping by early? Because if so, thank you for stopping by. Would you like me to stop bothering you to play Magic? Nah. Here's the thing. I have the decks already. Largely, I think it's just a lot of burnout in regards to the products. At this point, like, I largely only keep... Like, I still watch MTG content. But like I really only keep up nowadays with the main world set releases. So like I'm gonna be watching I'm gonna be like, you know, watching the releases for Edges of Eternity, but I don't care until we get the next, like, you know, Magic the Gathering world set after that. Starting with next set, you can have legendary vehicles as your commander. I can have the Titanic as my commander. With the way things are going, you might get there sooner rather than later. I usually have you stream on the computer while hosting. Okay, fair enough. I do appreciate that. I'm trying my best. Today's a process of trying to figure out how painting works. The added space to Magic the Gathering. To be fair, Magic the Gathering already had a space set, but it was in an unset. Okay, I don't want you to feel like I'm pressuring you. No. I don't worry about it. If I didn't enjoy Magic the Gathering, I wouldn't engage with it at all. It's not like, you know. I'm pretty good about being like, also the Sonic. I did see the Sonic Secret Lair. There's some interesting effects. Um, that's more or less all I have to say. Like there's some effects there that I think would be cool if they got like a main set reprint. Yeah, you're probably obligated to get an Amy for your red white commander red white equipment deck. If I don't give any ties to Infinity and Edge of Eternity, I'll be mad. To be fair, Infinity was like that was a thing that happened and it ended up kind of being problematic in its own way. Oh, Ruffles, congrats on the VIP, Sweet Bean. The time has come. All right, it should be automatically set up so that way it VIPs you, but so feel free to say something. Like ruining cards with stickers. Yep, it's nice but not irreplaceable. Yeah. What's up, Crisp?
My cold take is that franchises like Sonic, SpongeBob and Doctor Who should never have gotten Magic the Gathering sets. Like, who the fuck asked for a SpongeBob Magic the Gathering set?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel that way about the entirety of Universes Beyond stuff. That is my feeling about every single Universes Beyond thing. I didn't want any of it. And I've been adamantly against it this entire time, but, you know, Magic the Gathering isn't for me anymore, I suppose. Honestly, Infinity should have had the free sleeves when they added stickers. Magic the Fortniting, a little bit. I like the Universes Beyond for folks that are super excited for their things getting in the spotlight. That's fair, but also, I just wish that they wouldn't make unique effects. I think like therein lies my biggest frustration with the entire process is like, welcome on Casper House, gotta have you, Sweet Bean. I'm just like, I don't know. I guess like disenfranchised. Understand Yuna basically the best character in Final Fantasy X. She's a white mage with access to summoning, meaning she has support and one of the strongest attack spells in Holy. And her summons scale with her magic attack. In the international version of the game, the character's got... I'm like relatively aware of Yuna as a character. Sorry, I'm staring at the most glaring example of incompetence and outright lies I've ever seen in the professional context. 3 weeks of claimed work that simply does not exist. 4 different people claim that this work was done. There is no evidence that it was done, including the work currently not being complete. Yeah, like that's I believe just fraud. That sounds like just fraud to me. Welcome on in, Locke. Glad to have you, Sweeping. Also, Locke. Whenever you have a chance, I don't know if you have any actual art of your Sona. Like if not, just like any picture of your fursuit. Check Telegram. All right. Let me see. Are we doing fraud? Apparently someone's doing fraud. Just fraud. Welcome on to Nom. Give a good shout for Nom. Let me see. I'm looking real quick at Telegram just to make sure I have the references. I probably won't start it tonight. Aw, that's so cute. Your Jaguar is so cute. I'm super excited. Oh my god, the trip, the three shoutouts. Anyway, I gotta stop stoking the fire of M2G. Have folks have a lovely night for sure. Thank you for stopping by, you sweet bean. Have fun with the potluck. But yeah, where was I at? We were talking about a thing, and then like we had a couple people show up. Oh yeah, that's right, committing fraud. It's only for the secret layers. I'm gonna get real stoned. I do not blame you. I kind of wish, like I said, I would like to at some point try the Devil's Lettuce, but I want to get like an actually secure position first before I do. I want to be able to pass a drug test. That's my big thing before I would go about the process of like, you know. Speaking of fraud, I pulled a Joker, so I'm good for a while. Welcome on Afronation Bud. I'm glad to have you sweeping. Good shout for also for Afronation Bud. Starkey would like one weed, please. Absolutely. How you doing, Afronation? Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. I probably just prefer Afro, don't you, though?
Misty, choose one of your water Pokemon, and flip a coin until you get tails. For each heads, take a water energy from your energy zone and attach it to that Pokemon.
Okay. What's up, Chris?
Starkey, look, I've been practicing singing the national anthem, Oh Sa.
You're chatty tonight. Goodness gracious, how's the art?
Hey Starkey, 4th of July is only a week away. You know
God.
what that means? The US gets to deploy 100 quintillion tons of C-02 into the air.
It does feel like that. How's the art? I think it's this is basically the finished piece. But I'm doing something here kind of like, so basically I want to learn how to do I want her to do like paintbrush style stuff. So I'm currently in the process of learning, basically trying to like recreate it using, using paintbrushes. So like right now I'm working on like just general shapes, and then I need to like probably come through with like more color variation, and then... What's up, Crisp?
I learned what the F word stands for. It stands for
Digital painting? Yes. Because there are like options for digital painting. I know a lot of digital artists who do like an amazing painter style, and I want to be able to... I want that for me. Have you tried blocking in shapes in grayscale and adding color later? An interesting proposal. Also, to be fair, like this is to some degree like a design study, because this is my secondary Sona, which I ended up having to redesign. Some of the stuff stayed, not all of it did. But to be honest with you, so like I am entirely self-taught. I have no like classical art experience. So any like terminology that you're familiar with, just assume that I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm big in digital painting. I know the vibes. I think I'm aware of blocking. I think is what I'm currently doing blocking, where I'm basically like laying out like the rough position of all of the various things, or is this different? I'm looking at this and I'm like, this looks like ass. This looks like butt. This looks booty butt cheek. Yeah, that's a way to do it. Because I've also seen like people kind of like where they basically like they almost like mold a shape. Like they'll like put a shape down and then like kind of like as add colors and like shape, like colors and things to it. I'm into booty butt cheeks though. Block is when you lay down edges and shapes where there are form or sharp value changes. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. Okay. I'm realizing I definitely might have bit off more than I could chew reasonably. I probably should have started with just trying lineless art. But fuck it, we ball. Okay. So I believe one thing in regards to this approach is that it's kind of you start with the darker tones and you kind of blend your way up. You blend your way lighter. I believe the hydrate. Well, learn as we go. I'm the same. Yeah. So my idea was not necessarily all of these are the darkest variations of their corresponding colors, but like the definitely the leather jacket is the darkest variation of the color that I was gonna want. Welcome on in. Hello. I'm thinking the stretch and the hydrate. Depends. Painting value shifts. Light BS dark is rough when working with straight color. I suppose that's fair. Light versus dark. Okay. I was confused what the channel point icon was, but I get it now. Yeah, it's like a graph. It's one of those things where it's like I was trying to come up with good ways of representing stuff. It is I don't necessarily think all of them are 100% great, but they're all stuff that I did. A great way to learn is to do grayscale studies. Welcome on to Canvas. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Well, that's a fair point. You know what? That's probably hold up. That's actually like maybe a thing I should be doing first instead of diving right into painting. It's just like doing grayscale style studies. People learn differently. That's fair. Also, I did color first. That's fair. I guess to be fair, it is like I've heard the two major perspectives are definitely like do you do color first or like color first or shading first? And I assume that that's probably the same thing with painting. Welcome on in, Big Berg. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. I draw a lot of stuff in pen and paper despite the environmental impact. It's really useful. I'm absolutely shattered. Just been prepping for a 40K tournament for my local nonprofit. Have you had to spend a bunch of money and time to getting one ready? Like getting an army ready? I still need to learn how to do shading, but I'm lazy. There we go. Digital painting has the advantage where you can do grayscale coloring to set the lighting and shading and overlay color. I suppose that, yeah, that's one of the upsides of digital. And it's something I should probably look into as like an option. And then at some point I'm gonna have to probably like do some like blending. Can you toggle grayscaling in digital painting? I can add like a let me see. I can add like a filter that actually see new correction layer, brightness and contrast. I want to say, nope, not contrast. Is it brightness that goes to 0? Nope. Oh, it's probably hue, saturation, etc. New correction layer, hue, saturation, luminosity. If we set hue, nope. Saturation, there it is, saturation. I'm not amazing, so don't take anything I say to heart. I mean, listen, you're not like I almost said you're not amazing because no, but like I do sincerely appreciate advice like that as like a means of because it's it's to some degree the process of like teaching yourself, like it's like that thing where it's like you learn more from teaching than you do from like any other version of like trying to like memorize the material. But no, like I don't think I've ever seen your art actually. But no, like I sincerely appreciate the feedback. Basically what I'm saying, I'm a goofus. I can't talk today. We're all always learning. I'm trying to learn pixel art and animation. That's fair. Okay. I can say something for later. I'd appreciate that. Just gonna get a sense of what all you end up working on. Okay. So the thing with leather is that it's pretty reflective. There's, if I remember saying, there's where you can change the coloring from color to monochrome or black and white for CSP. Affirmation, I'm not amazing, Starkey. I know. That's what I was trying to avoid. Listen, I realized as I was saying it, I was like, no, wait, that sounds incredibly shitty to say. But no. That's not at all how I meant it. But no, to be fair, like I do know that it is a frequent thing for artists to like minimize their own work. I do it too. That's how I felt it. I'm sorry. That's not even remotely, because like
I'll constantly talk about it. And I guess I'll be talking about it in more voice. That like to some degree I still think of myself exclusively as the person who made the first like pieces of art that I ever like made, where like they're basically recognizable but not functional in terms of shape or like any like composition, anything. Like they're not great, but they're also like my first thing. So it's one of those things where it's, you know,
I keep them around as a reminder. Okay. Actually, it might be too bright. It's fine. Because like I can just go like basically pure white with speckled when I'm working on the shapes for Okay. I feel like already I'm like trying to get my brain to figure out how because to some degree this is like this is a very hard lesson on trying to like think about like where like value shading happens. Night is like a Chinatown. How many bones do you think? I'm sorry. What does this say? How many bones do you think Starkey has? I am goop. There are literally no bones in my body. You are. I feel like you don't understand what goop is. If the answer is 0, not a 1. Who voted for 1 to 100? After I explicitly said that there are no bones in my body. I think it's a single bone. What? Do you think it's like I have like a wishbone? It's like you crack me open like a fucking Thanksgiving turkey and you can pull it out. Sounds like something somebody with bones in their body would say. Is this the stuff that's how I work in values essentially? Here. Did you send it over Telegram or... Oh, there we go. What the... Okay, I'm mad. Oh, I love interacting with other artists because I get to be mad at me. How dare you say your art's not that good? This is spectacular. What are you talking about? These, like, genuinely... I don't know what. I guess to be fair, it's one of those things where it's like you're always comparing yourself, like you're always going up in terms of comparison, and like so you're always like Starkey's mad because they were onto their bones. I'll fight back. I'll get to work. I'll fight you back. I'll get to work. No. Here, let me showcase some stuff because this is genuinely super impressive. Who voted for 300 plus? Especially, like, okay. When I'm, maybe it's just because, like, you know, I tend to be more, like, high resolution. Like, I tend to be a high resolution appreciator. Here. Fucking, like, this is absolutely spectacular. Like, the shape, contrast, the language, the posing, so fucking good. And then we got Kofu. And I love the little anime. I just noticed the subtle expression change on Kofu's. I didn't even notice that when I was looking at it initially. And then Snick. This I do love. Like this is the style. Oh my god, I have so much to fucking learn. I think my favorite piece was the one I did for Ati. Is that this one? Because if so, like I definitely feel like this is the most technically impressive one. And then I think it's okay, that's probably like yeah, no, I'll show you. Get learning. I'll get to learn me talking to the art slave driver that compels me, also known as my brain. All right, I'll get to learning. Okay, this is legit just respectful towards the actual bad artists like me. How dare? Listen. To be fair, like that is why. Honestly, here's the thing. I call myself a decent artist, not because I genuinely think like you know I very much do not have an ego about my art, and I know like you know even like let me hide this. Even this fucking flat piece has mistakes. Yes, I know Cupcake's happening in the background. I'm ignoring it for points because this side like I didn't flip the fucking canvas. Oh god. Oh merciful heaven. Jesus Christ, the fucking the difference of the shoulder pads are so bad. Oh god. But no, I'm not saying that at all to be like, you know, it's more just like when I say I'm like an okay artist, it's basically it's that way, you know. To some degree, like there is value in being public about learning a thing. I like to think at least. Because it does mean that like a lot of the times you'll I'm looking at this and I'm like this is I'm wondering if I might want to just ditch this. The thing is I don't necessarily know what I would be doing in the meantime. That's the thing with the art in me. Is like I like having time to think up a subject. And I guess like here this is one of those things, this is my like I don't usually shy away from doing stuff that's hard, but to some degree this is ever so slightly overwhelming. So I am I think being hesitant, but I think also I need to be all right with the idea that I'm not necessarily doing that bad of a job. But no, like Afro, your stuff's so spectacular. Like it for I'm gonna give you and every other artist who's like, oh, my stuff's not that good, I'm gonna give you a crap because I genuinely think that y'all need to, you know, y'all need to respect your art more. But I sent it. Okay, that is genuinely hold up. That is absolutely stunning. Dude, like this is but realizing things are wrong in the first is the first thing about getting better. Exactly. I guess it's like that's the one thing. It's like for me, like I hit my art block when I was like I don't know how to like I was like I had gotten better. And then, like, I didn't know how to make it better, even though I knew it was possible. Like, objectively speaking, I could make it better. Like, you know, but also, goodness gracious, welcome on Cost. I glad have you sweeping. I know that I had a art block for six years. I guess I do have to give myself credit because a lot of, like, you know, we're just stopped entirely. I gotta give myself a little bit credit because for a year and a half of art work, being able to do stuff like this is, I don't want to say like impressive, but it is good. Welcome on, Jaren. Glad I get sweeping. Good show for Jaren. Actually, hold up. I just realized this is probably going to be doing some painterly practice. I'm definitely trying. I'm trying to get like a sense because this is almost shading. This is like combo painting practice and shading practice. This is what happens when Starkey enters Starks his last morph. Improvement is always impressive. It's when your skill catches up to your knowledge. I suppose that's fair. It becomes bleaky morph. But yeah, this is to some degree like a combination of like shading practice, form practice, painting practice. Bleaky form, Starkey's evil alter ego. Starkey Bleaky form morph. Oh god, I think hold up. It just gave me that pop-up where it's like the file is trying to recover itself. I think the file size might be getting a bit big. It's the hardest hurdle for me. When for most people, when you know something's wrong but you don't know how to fix it, you just keep trying new things. Yeah, I guess that's like where stylization kind of comes into play, isn't it? Welcome on Gadget. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Hold up. One thing I kind of want to fix on the flats. I like the slightly different shade. There we go. Why don't people use mayo when they out of jelly for peanut and butter? Terrific question. It's because of the way that the mayo and everything is. Well, stylization is also sometimes it's just you like vibes whether it's right or wrong. I suppose that's also a good point. There's like sometimes it's not necessarily like even the sometimes it's like it's just a matter of it's just like a matter of preference at some point. I like to say style is a heuristically answer to how to do this. If your favorite ice cream flavor is not included, pick a joke option. But no, I'm not bad at drawing cans. It's just my art style. Well, okay, that is to some degree, like that is at some point does become detectable. Also, like usually it's like the kinds of people who like it's like a glass houses things where it's like you can use the excuse of like if it's just my art style so long as you're like never critiquing someone else's art. Welcome on to Mystic. Glad to have you, Sweepy. Can you just shout for Mystic Wind? I think I'm realizing okay. Hold on, this might be the appeal of like a Thatchwork style shading. Oh, come on, Multi. Glad to have you too. I'm currently deep in the brain trenches of trying to figure out how I want to. Oh gosh, no problem. Get shouted out, get supported. I really enjoy being able to support small streams like myself wherever I can. But I don't want to be presumptive. I was struggling to draw a human face the other day, and that shows I don't draw regular faces, regular people all that much. Yeah, furries are more interesting. I do feel like it's probably easier to draw humans. Needed to stream more art. I would definitely be. I would definitely be there to watch and support, depending on the hour, of course. every single time, I'm like, I want it so badly to support more of my friends, like in their their artistic endeavors and what have you. And then I also just have to acknowledge the fact that like I am, of course, an incredibly busy, eternally like hell scheduled nightmare of a person. It's my art style is fine so long as you don't neglect your actual. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So to some degree, this is me trying to figure out shading, because I'm still not necessarily super great at shading either. That's one of those things I also have to improve on. I just realized there's a color stretch option. Hmm. Oh, shit, what? That was weird. Hmm. How's that look in regards to, like, it's not really doing what I want it to. It definitely does look more like a brush rather than, like, kind of a texture. Does your pen have I don't think it has rotation support, unfortunately. How is it turning it around? I think it's like smart. Like it does like some kind of like pseudo rotation thing where like as like I move it like left and right, and like it tries to like pretend like it's able to rotate. Sometimes you have to enable pen and rotation in the air. That is jitter. Okay. I think it's also just like one of those things where it's like I'm not quite. Maybe it's the thick. Let's try the thick oil brush. Actually, that does kind of have a little bit of a leather texture to it. So a little brush setting, the little wrench icon. Okay, I have brush settings open. Color jitter. It'll take a decade for me to finish the spreadsheet I started. Brush tip. Angle. That's a good spreadsheet then. God, okay, this is the technical stuff of this Clip Studio Paint that I'm the absolute worst at. Not a huge fan of how that's looking. Maybe the dry gauche will work a little bit better. Actually, yeah, that's definitely a lot better. Goosh? No, it's gauche. Gouache? It's unsure, unclear. I probably need to work. I probably need to like have the line here indicative more of gouache. That's when a crow uses it. Then it becomes gouache. Yeah, I hate that word. It's too French. Starkey forgets the E in rules of grammar. So basically what I'm saying, Jared, I'm going to tell DA that you hate the French. No. Because that is a glass house situation. For sure. Yeah, English and French have similar problems. At least in that regard. Yeah, so this is one of those things where it's like, as I'm learning more about the tools I have available to me, I do think it's going to get a little bit easier for me to do texturing stuff like this. Because, like, that is a very, you know, that is kind of what, like, a leather texture really looks like. If I can learn how to do that more. Gouache is a watercolor paste. Interesting. But very pigmented. Okay. The music today has just like been such a nice vibe. I'm really here for it. Okay. I definitely am seeing that this is maybe like a... Oh! Welcome on in, creators! Welcome on in! Glad yeah, for those who don't know, I'm starting to work for Chaos Creating Internet. Brace your delivery Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 7 to 10 PST. Palchamon, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Glad Check. What have you, Sweet Bean? Oh, God. I've lost track of where my windows are. Anyways, welcome on in, invaders. For those who don't know, I'm starting to work for Chaos Creating Internet. Brace your every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. EST. Mostly play indie games. However, every Tuesday and Friday for the last year and change, we've been learning how to do some art. So, Fortis is on the TV. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to Live Check. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. I'm currently in the process of doing like this is like multiple studies in one. So this is a painter shading, and I guess it's not like really a form study. Because like I basically so this is a I guess it's a character design study. Because the original version, like originally, this was a redesign of a secondary Sona that I had in the works, which I'm still in the process of tinkering with. I know I probably want to make the Thor, like the vines on the thorns a little bit thicker, so that way they're not quite so difficult to interpret at like a lower resolution. I'm also still trying to figure out what the deal is with like how I want to include the blue in here, but sorry about that. But yeah, this is something I'm actively in the process of working on. Make a spreadsheet designed to track and calculate ingredients to determine the most budget-friendly places to buy stuff, what you need to incorporate to avoid malnutrition, what you do with the ingredients you have, ways you can chain recipes together, being able to factor in seasonal and weekly details, the shelf life of anything you purchased, and also eventually making a way to import/export regional details. That's a fuck ton of spreadsheeting. Are like, Kasai, are you okay? Do we need to like do we need to talk about something, or, you know? Should we allow Starkey to eat dinner tonight? Joke's on you, I've already eaten dinner tonight. It was like 5-day-old pizza. This is more like like more than a spreadsheet, it's more like a database in SQL. You're not necessarily wrong.
Spin!
Hmm. I think also one thing I'm realizing now as like I'm doing this is that part of why I hated stray lines, like, you know, I hated stray formations is just because like when it's consistent, it looks great. But like when it's, you know, it can be done with a spreadsheet, so whatever tool you're comfortable with. Also, knowing that most of my fan base are into tummies, I'm pretty sure that this is like a losing poll. I was always going to be allowed to eat dinner. I'm nice enough to make spreadsheets. Make spreadsheets. Might hear me out. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. I'll allow it this time. Yeah, it's like you're not gonna chat. I think will always vote for bigger Borb. Also, we're about to run our first set of 3-minute ads. We run those every hour to turn off pre-rolls so people don't have to deal with ads as soon as they join the stream. The Borb is already huge. Yeah, that's fair. But also, it's furry, so they're always going to want bigger. It can always go bigger. There you go. Sorry, there's a very thin thread keeping me from developing games entirely ran in Google Sheets. I mean, someone did actually create an algorithm to run ray tracing in Microsoft Excel, so like it is possible. I don't know why you would want to do that, but like you can. Burb is only ever burb size. Like wizards arrive precisely when they mean to, and burbs always be sized however they need to be. Exactly. It's like those Japanese fairy birds, which are literally like like the platonic ideal of borbs. I don't know how else to describe. They just are borbs in the purest sense. Does this not have a stabilization feature? Interesting. I guess there's something to be said about like with this kind of brush, like you're not necessarily that worried about like pure lines as you would be with like an ink pen style tool. Okay, let's try up the pass. Okay. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere in regards to the texturing here. This is making me realizing how much fucking effort it is to do this approach rather than like I guess to be fair, like this is, you know, the people who get really good at this are like able to like approach it basically from the ground up rather than like needing to draw the piece beforehand and then like do what I'm doing. And like that's actually kind of that increasing like as I learn more and more about the artistic process, I'm more and more astounded by how people like what people can make. Was you have strong familiarity with how painting works? You just start building? Yeah. Like I said, like there's certain people I watch and it's almost like they're like working with like clay or like a stone sculpture where it's more like almost forming rather than like Like it at some point it becomes more like sculpting. Um, dark backgrounds layer lighter colors than highlights, then dark silhouette on subjects, then base colors than highlights. It's a process that you build from the back to the front. They just have to be used to deconstructing your vision. It's sculpting with paint IRL, essentially oil paints. That's like I want to be able to do that oil paint style. So like as painful as this is, because this does hurt, it is important that I am able to do it. If I do want to make the process of you know, of actually of like making oil paint stuff like this easier. Well, come on, Kage. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. My hand tracking is being very uncooperative today. What's up, Chris?
Honestly, depriving Starkey of dinner is cruel and unusual punishment. Like, at least of some decency.
You're gonna say something incredibly hurtful, aren't you?
I have the femur breaker if you want some humane punishment to subject Starkey to.
I fucking okay. So it was literally it was physical pain as opposed to the metaphorical emotional pain that I've become used to.
Spin!
You know, that's fair. I was being uncreative.
Spin!
Which, like, you know, as has been established, I can't afford to be uncreative around you guys.
Spin! 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 Spin!
That it's so disconcerting every time the femur breaker happens. 5, 6, 7, and 9. Didn't Merle think that this was saying foxes in the night? 5, 6, 7, and 9. To be fair, I feel like if you can understand singing in another language, like that's the moment of true bilingual. Like that's the moment where you've become truly bilingual. Like that's because I swear to God, singing is like so much harder to interpret. It really is. Translating poetry songs is so hard. Well, like even because like I struggle to understand. I struggle to understand English stuff like this. I'll admit that much. There's you know, famously there are plenty of songs out there with misheard lyrics. Dressed up like a douche. Blinded by the light, dressed up like a douche, and it's another runner in the night. I think is the last part of that. But like it's something about like the musicality makes it almost harder for the brain to interpret. Or maybe I'm just dumb. It could be both. Let's be honest. Pokénolos dos, revved up like a deuce. those are the actual lyrics. Yes, that one. That I believe that one is famous for being very easily misunderstood. Okay, I need to move this down here. That's easier to hear in Springsteen's original version, but I get it. 5, 6, 7, and 9. But no, you are of course correct that like it is. I guess it depends more on the like the speaker. But there are definitely certain singers where I like look at them and I'm like, what are you trying to tell me? Arguably, that's the entire crux of like the Scatman, like Scatman's entire discography. I love Les Poissons, Steve. It's just like I don't know, it's just like so cozy. Ba-da-da. Fish Steve is kind. Lots of mondegreens. What's a mondegreen? But like also like people have I definitely have trouble with audio processing, which makes me feel like an asshole. Because I do that thing. I do that dreaded thing that everyone with audio processing also does. Where I will hear someone like say a thing and then like I will think that I just didn't hear them properly. So I'll go, can you say that again? And then like they'll start talking again, and then my brain will actually finish processing the fucking the thing that they said. And I'll just interrupt them mid them. Like I was like, I just asked you to repeat yourself, but also I just understood what you said the first time. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I have audio processing issues. A mondegreen is a misheard lyric, line, or other statement which the listener reinterprets into something that they think it could be. Okay. I didn't realize there was an official name for that. This is Bardcore Fireflies.
Rats, rats,
What's up, Chris?
where the rats?
Starkey, I was making my chicken and rice and I added a bit of butter and pepper for seasoning, and one shake of the pepper and the lid came off and it all fell in.
I'm sorry. That sucks. If you aren't if you didn't stir, you could take a spoon and you can probably get the bulk of the pepper out. It might still be a little peppery, but like you can still eat it. I'll raw dog the pepper. Godspeed. I respect that. I respect that desire. You not nah, fuck it. Tonight we dine like men. Giggles while loosening their pepper shaker. Welcome on, Delos. Can we shout for Delos? The etymology is coined by American journalist and editor Sylvia Wright in 1954 in Harper's Magazine from the mishearing a line in the Scottish ballad, The Bonny Earl of Moray. They have slain the Earl of Moray and laid him on the green. The second line being misheard as "and Lady Mondegreen." Oh, okay. Delos, I'm doing shading and textures and fucking hold up. I'm gonna come over this again with like a real light shade. Density of paint super low. Amount of paint low. Actually, this might be one of the situations where it's like it's actually more correct to grab this brush tool. Stargate, I see you woke up. I see you woke up with violence today. Well, yeah, more or less. maybe it's a weird, fucked up form of inspiration. I'm not sure. I'm not necessarily super sold by the effect. So I was thinking, like, maybe like I need to just like, because it's almost like a highlight effect. This is good. Always play on the urge to draw something wild when you... Yeah, it's like... I'll be honest with you, I was a little apprehensive coming to stream today because I wasn't sure if I even wanted to work on stuff like this. But now that I'm actually, like, in the process, Is this All I Want for Christmas disguised? This is This Woman's Work by Maxwell, remastered 2021. All right. Actually, you know what? I'm a little proud of myself for having created, like, because if I zoom out a lot, it becomes immediately clear that this is like basically its own segment. There's something very satisfying. Like, I think that's the thing that keeps driving me with art, is this really satisfying feeling of like finally understanding a thing. It's a Flappy Doodle. I think it's not quite a pauldron, but I don't know what those pieces are called. I know what you're talking about, though. It's to attach things to. Yeah. Color stretch. What the fuck? Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. I'm feeling of finally understanding something does not end. I had that moment this week. I guess I'm going to be doing art for the rest of my life. And to be honest with you, I think that's a good thing. That like that because that constant it's like doing a puzzle in a puzzle game. Every single time, it's like just this pure shot of dopamine. Nerd. Welcome on, Amber. It's gotta be sweet. Be good. You know what? For throwing Pikmin at me, get shouted out. Can we shout out for Ambrose? Stargate happened again. I remade it. I used a different pepper shaker. It happened again. No! That is genuinely how a cult starts. Like that is how like obsessive compulsive personality trait begins. I'm sorry that you will be spending the rest of your life tightening pepper shakers before you use them. I feel like I figured out how to draw shoulder muscles after 20 years. I feel like I keep relearning how to draw shoulder muscles. I don't think this is going to be my like most visually appealing piece, but I do think this is probably going to be like this is well on its way to becoming my most technically demanding piece. And I think that's the thing. Like if I keep doing things that are difficult, eventually the hard stuff becomes easy. I gotta ask Starkey what the Yin stereotypes were. Yin's I'm sorry to DA because I know he's into neither of these things, but he is a null. Yins are universally into Vor and Musk, except for DA apparently. Progress isn't holistic, and that's okay. Progress isn't holistic anyway. That's fair. Is this fucking bardcore Pumped Up Kicks Medieval with Hatsune Miku. That is critically dangerous. Yeens are stinky. I think that's where like I think the stereotype of that all Yeens sonas are musky. Oh my god, welcome on, Rack Hudson. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Can you shout for Rack Hudson? But you know, I think I like learned how to draw like water and like, cause let me see if I can figure it out again. Like let's take like a neutral son of a bitch. Actually, why can't I draw here? Huh. That is bizarre. So much that I wondered why I never considered a Yin Sona. Oh, or the medieval Pink Pony Club. The song drives me wild, but for what it's worth, I think we're out of the woods and people discovering the song has dark lyrics. You say that, but there are people who still don't realize that Fortunate Sons is a very anti-war. Like there are people out there who think Fortunate Sons is a pro-war song. So, you know, never underestimate human stupidity and unwillingness to actually read the lyrics. Exactly. You might force yourself to draw stuff knowing you might fail. That way you get numb to the fear of failure and you're free of the struggle of mortality. I'm already free of the struggle of mortality. Death will claim me when it will. That was a full fucking talking point I had with my therapist today where I'm like, you know, I don't have a concept of mortality. Oh yeah, no, that one's yeah, there are people who like, oh yeah, hoorah, Fortunate Sons, let's go invade fucking, you know, X Y country. Because people would be like, did you know the song's about? And I'm like, yes, because the lyric. I'm like, I do think Pumped Up Kicks is an especially bad version of it because clearly they should have known. Like they should already know. It to some degree it is a you know, a kind of startling like failure that they didn't know the lyrics were dark sooner. But even This Land Is Your Land was pretty much the opposite of what people think it is. I'm trying to think of like what This Land Is Your Land is. Because like it has like that one's it's literally just a surface level reading. It's just hearing what the lyrics are, the folk song. The thing is, like, I don't actually, I have not heard This Land Is Your Land in forever. So, like, I don't know the lyrics off the top of my head. I'm assuming it's probably about, like, what would it even be about? Probably about American imperial. That's what I'm thinking. That like my brain immediately is like American imperialism, surely. I do think that that's like maybe one of those things where it's like people don't necessarily realize how much art was very clearly it's anti-private property. Okay. I'd believe that. Hmm. This might be I think I overcorrected. Let's do some jank real quick. This is gonna do some weird things real quick, but I didn't mean to do that. Save. Fair enough. The saves are getting like the saves are starting to scare me with how much time they're taking. Yeah, that definitely looks a little bit better to me. No, don't save. Savings for tryhards. We save when we're about to end this stream for the day. Listen, I'm lucky in that I'm aware of who I am as a person, so I've never had to deal with the abject pain, shock of loss that comes with. Oh, oops, you never say that piece. All good software autosaves every 5 to 10 minutes. That's fair. Is Starkey Morph even a real bird? No, he's a liar. We've been over this. I'm a slime in the shape of a bird. My mods never listen to me. This is why I don't feed them. It will auto recover. I found a single Pringle today, Starkey. Starkey is Starkey. I am Borb. Me and me and me. Okay, let's try to clean this up a little bit. The version of this land is your land. We were taught in school conveniently omitted the verse about private property. That does sound like something America would do, to be honest with you. To some degree, it's kind of wild, like, growing up and then realizing that just about your entire childhood is propaganda. It's, you know, it's not great, for sure. It's not, like, not the best experience. Would not recommend it.
Where the rat?
What's up, Crisp?
You
got kind of funky with it, I'm not gonna lie.
Whoops, tenacious happened.
Even Smokey Bear is propaganda. I mean, like, aside from the propaganda about protecting the forests. But some propaganda is meant... Yeah, no. Here's the thing. Propaganda is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for both good and bad. I think genuinely some propaganda is, like, good. Like, hey, reminding people of, like, what happens to rivers when there's no, like, pollution standardization. Like, hey, you know, remember that time that we didn't have, like, protection for our rivers and they started catching on fire? Like, stuff like that is it's technically propaganda, but it is propaganda for be like, hey, I guess, like, you could call it education, but, you know, therein lies, like, the linguistic nightmare that is, like, having any conversation about those two things. Starkey thinks I don't think propaganda is good. I think it can be good. Because to some degree, humanity has proven that, like, not everyone... some people need to just have very simple, correct truths inserted directly into their skull. Remember, everyone, you are not immune to... Yeah, no one's immune to propaganda. Like, just like no one's immune to the Borb missile. Knowing propaganda exists reinforces the need to actively look at both sides of every problem. Yep. Welcome on, Ileana. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. If you disagree with it, it's propaganda. If you agree with it, it's just the truth. Yeah. That's definitely like unfortunately kind of like a rational way of kind of looking at it. Can my propaganda be shaped like a large naked wolf man? Yes. This is acceptable. How could you ratio Ileanos is a good bean. Ileanos is good fops. I'm sorry, Starkey, but you're the only one afflicted by the Bissell. Do we have propagated to turn us into hot furries? What the fuck do you think? What do you think, like, furry artists are? To some degree, all furry artists are there to inform you of our truth, which is that, you know, beefy men are hot. Haha, haha, animal men.
Wretch, wretch,
What's up, Chris?
we're the wretch.
Fun fact, this stream has subtle anti-capitalist propaganda in it.
The fuck
It's
you
hard
mean
to notice,
sub-
but it's there.
The fuck you mean subtle? I am listen, I'm anti-capitalist, but I'm also like fully honest about that. Capitalism sucks and everyone should know it. I take umbrage with the idea that I'm being subtle. Yes, Queen, speak your truth. I've fallen for propaganda for hot men. Listen, so long as, like, here's the thing. There's definitely a point where you have to balance the dangers of hot men. Like you have to be smart about how you approach the concept of hot men. I will follow because Starkey will feed my family to me if I miss a stream. Too hot and you lose a grip on expectations? Yeah. Wait, anti-capitalist sells his Starkey stock? What do you mean Starkey stock? Hello? I just realized because I need to hold up. Did a reject Borb make a Starkey Morph crypto scam? Listen, I'll be honest with you. I personally think of the Borbs as like basically moving via Brownian motion. Like there's just so many of them, and they all perform random actions that like there's a Borb for every situation. It's almost like for those of you who visit Foxleaf Bray, it's almost like his Shweez. Whereas like there's a Shwee dedicated to every like emotion or random, you know, whatever. I'm actually like relatively happy with how this code is coming out, and like that's fucking weird and wild and wacky. Turns out, like, fun fact, the Borb is watching you right now. That's right, you're the person reading this. Of course there's a Borb watching me right now. There's like thousands of them in the lab. I don't know where they keep coming from. Twiz said he stopped making them, but like I find a new Borb every week.
Rats, we're rats.
What's up, Chris?
We're the rats.
Starkey, sir, bad news. Our Starkey LLC stocks have plummeted down over 800%.
What do you mean?
If you're asking why we have stocks, it's because how else do we make some extra cash?
Okay, but also, why am I just now finding out that we're an LLC? I need I've been converting the dead Sorial clones into Borbs. Oh, so it's your fault. Squid Game Season 3 spoiler, Gihoon gives 100 subs in Starkey chat and all Korea went wild. Or are the stocks just the soup? You know what? Soup stocks are acceptable. Are you a ceremonial chairperson on the board? Ah, yes, and now I have the precious little diamond. Congrats on the precious little diamond. We have yet another VIP, which I think is very, very cool. Okay, I should probably re-add some color stretch. I think that's part of why that I'm not necessarily super happy with the way the blending was working. It's because I turned off color blending. There we go. And now I'm getting into the Discord because what the heck? Why haven't I joined it yet? Birdbrain am I? I believe the new Discord command is !lab chat. Welcome on, Zera Crisis. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. Can we shout out for Zera Crisis? Okay. Alrighty. Let's go and add a little bit of the texturing here. There we go. Don't tell you about the LLC for plausible deniabilities. The lawyers love that. You know what? Fair point. But welcome on, Zera. How you doing, Sweet Bean? I'm currently in the process of trying to figure out how to do materials better. I think I'm kind of figuring out a methodology for it. I do actually, low key though. I now I'm like I forgot about the mixing brush. The mixing brush seems so fucking handy. The fuck's a lawyer? I'm unclear, but I'm told they're important. There we go. I thought we fired our lawyers out of cannons. I thought our lawyers were all soy rail clones. Resting a bit before I resume making Rushy for the art fight. How'd the Starkey? I'm doing all right. I'm currently deep in my brain space. I'm deep in my brain prison, trying to figure out how I want to do paint stuff. Luckily, we fired them out of cannons for saying, and I quote, stealing a person's basic free will and turning them into drones is not only illegal, but also largely immoral. Luckily, our new drone lawyers agree with the drone process now. Oh my god. Saving recover. Oh, God bless. Okay. Yeah, no, I think my computer is pretty unhappy with how this entire process is going. Welcome on to Fine Point. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. The computer can eat it because I'm having a great time. It is 3 kobolds in a trench. We love 3 kobolds in a trench coat. Let's go and let's bump the volume on the 3 kobolds in a trench coat. No, I don't necessarily like that effect. I don't know why the thick oil paint has like random splotches of blacks. I got three of the 5 refs done, just 2 more. I don't think I'll be able to make. I don't think I'll be able to join in. I don't think I'll be able to join. Could be a layering thing. That's also fair. Usually digital oils interact differently when there's a base color under it or when the layer is transparent. That's fair. Maybe let's go back to the thin oil, like the regular oil paint. Just also, I think I need to bring the color down a little bit. I didn't expect to do much, but gonna do our for friends who are partaking. That's fair. Well, for those of you who need to beat the to break the heat. Starkey, what are the references for anyways? Art fight. You were surprisingly nonplussed about this music. What's going on? I grew up on YouTube poops that specifically feature the Zelda CDI movies. So, this is normal for me. Hold up. You reminded me of a very particular song. Thanks for stream, Starkey. I'm totally going to sleep, not because of audio crimes. Understandable. Go get some good sleep, Sweeping. Because this reminded me of This reminded me of a legendary video that I listened to way too fucking much in where's the fucking songs? Where's the song? When did Cam get in here? Where is it? This is not the Toad Sings. Yes, okay. That reminded me. First, we'll get back to Bardcore. We shall get back to Puce Pony Pub. This is a fucking jam I listened to so much in high school. This is, I think, probably a sign of why I am the way that I am. Yeah, it doesn't even remotely hold up. I'm gonna be honest with you. Anyways. I played that song for fucking hours while playing TF2 with friends in high school. Don't worry, I've been through that too. Okay, I do kind of love this though. The pink pony in. Pony in. All right. I'm using the technique that I learned from Bob Ross when he was doing trees and grass, so. Okay. There's some things I got that need to be fixed here, but that works surprisingly well, to be honest. Finding the happy trees. Hmm. There's actually kind of like this is one of the situations where I think I can actually use texture to my benefit. Because if I do something like this, I think I need to I need to make the effect look a little bit cleaner, but I think that actually does kind of work here. Hopefully you guys don't mind me doing like some of this like more experimental style stuff that I kind of need to do at some point, but all the experiments. I do think it's like it's leading to a kind of a fun effect. The One Piece. The One Piece. The One Piece is real. I think I'm caught up to One Piece. I'm pretty sure I'm caught up. I don't think there's been another chapter that's released since I've had the chance to look. Art is a science, finding what works for you. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. I have to go over some areas again, but this is definitely like this is fun, but I do think like if I ever offer commissions, I will not offer this until I have like a much more consistent pathway, like to getting to something that looks acceptable. Hmm. I remember that singer also did We Are. I was remembering hearing him in Jam Project. To some degree, this is also good practice for making me realize that like some of the color picks I use are maybe a touch too bright. Hmm. Okay. It's fair. It's probably gonna be so because of the where I'm putting the light source. It probably is on the back half more than the front half. When I'm thinking about like where the lines are gonna be naturally kind of drawn. Or it's like the bottom half more. Yeah, bottom half makes more sense. I'm sorry, I'm deep in the think zone. Oh god. Oh lord, what is that? Oh Jesus. That is awful. I don't like the shoulder beak. I think zone is where we want to be. That's fair. Funky James Birdman. Welcome on Gator Goop. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. I'm currently deep in the art zone. I'm very art pilled at the moment. I'm going full art mode. But yeah, so like that's more or less where I'm at right now. I should join you, at least start learning a program other than paint.net. I've been enjoying Clip Studio Paint.
What does this
If only just because
button
I
do?
don't feel overwhelmed from
Please,
using it.
please, do not push the button. You have no idea what it.
Let's see what this looks like
Look,
now.
I'm trying to order the fucking Pizza Hut, and it just keeps showing me if we can we tempt you with cheese sticks. I don't.
Okay, we're getting
want-
somewhere.
I don't want cheese sticks. I just want to check out.
Thank you,
Oh my
Zara
God,
Crisis, for
like,
trapping
I'm
this
not-
poor lady into the cheese stick
No,
dimension.
Please. I don't want
She didn't
your
deserve
fucking
this.
cheese sticks.
None of us deserve
I
the
just
cheese stick
wanna check
dimension.
out-
I love the abject panic in her voice every time. She is so in pain. She wants all the mozzarella sticks because it's not even like it is one of the greatest videos I've found on the internet for sure. That woman is going through a test from God. That is a biblical test of temptation. Absolutely. Stick to the cheese. Reminds me of the Snapchat story of someone working at Papa John's or something and eating like 20 breadsticks. I feel like at 20 breadsticks, like it's definitely doing something weird to your digestive system.
Stocky, sir, instead
What's up,
of
Chris?
the cheese stick dimension, can we trap our foes in the bottomless popcorn bucket dimension?
Yes, but only if the popcorn bucket is specifically shaped like a what was the one people were didn't they try to turn the Doom worm into a popcorn bucket and people were talking about how they were gonna fuck it? She's more stressed than the lady horrified all the shapes go into the square hole. I love that video. I love that. I relate so deeply to that video. All right, we're about to run our second set of 3-minute ads. We run those every hour to turn off pre-rolls so people don't have to deal with ads as soon as they join the stream. Oh, honey. Okay. Presumably, some people are still fucking the Dune worm buckets. Is that what you want me to say? Is that what you wanted? Are you happy now? Now you've acknowledged the Doom worm bucket fucking. The great Doom worm bucket fucking of 2000 and whatever. Don't those buckets have a toothy hole? Doesn't stop people before. I want to stop them. One word only, fans. I wouldn't stick my valuables in there. Is this Chipsol? This is Chipsol. This is Spectra. I love their stuff. Chipsol does some really good work for sure. I just realized, I think the colors drifted a touch. Welcome on, Rev. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. How you doing? Can we shout for Rev? Fellow Thunderfang member, heckin' super Sweet Bean. Actually, we've got plans to do something next week with them, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm currently in the process of trying to figure out how I do art. I think it'll help a little bit if I actually color match instead of there we go. So this is my second Sona, and I'm currently in the process of trying to figure out how to do shading, painting, and character design all in a single piece. Suffice it to say, I probably have bitten off a touch more than I can chew. Decouple them in regards to do the flash and do the rendering, then do the shading. Yeah, that's probably a smarter way of going about it rather than just kind of like if it's not clear, I'm entirely self-taught. So I actually have no idea what I'm doing a lot of the time. I just kind of like, I try different things until I find a style that works for me. Who did this? Swariel, what the fuck? So people even paint their forms initially in grayscale. That's what Delos does. I think it's probably, that's probably like a smart way of going about it, honestly. And they color them later. I don't like that method, though. I'm so sorry for the music. This one's my mod's fault. Usually these are one of my mod's faults, to be honest. That method makes the colors more disconnected from the piece for me. Welcome on my redesign. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Can we shout out for Red, aka Redesign CG? People do great work with it, though. Oh, absolutely. Like it's one of those things where it's like you can't really like you'll see the results and you're like, well, you know, however you managed to figure that out. If by one of you mean it's one specific mod, yes. To be fair, this one was Soy Real, but usually it's Oceano's fault. Also, redesign. I have a question. How do you feel about modeling like how do you feel about modeling accessories for specifically for like the adding them to like base model bases later? I was reaching out to another artist, but my assumption at this point is that he's pretty preoccupied, so if not, I completely get it. There 3D artists, like I do think there's like probably like a lack of 3D artists, but that's I think a sign of like how difficult it is to do 3D art. I'm a bit backed up at the moment, but it depends on when what we're needing. That's fair. The big things would be the medallion and then the lab coat. Which, the lab coat, I don't know. I assume the lab coat would probably be more intensive because it would require probably a little bit of, or the goggles. I actually have I had a friend who just like incidentally, loving the painterly style, by the way. Oh, thank you. I'm trying my best to try something different. I do think it's turning out relatively well, all things considered. But, you know, I actually had I had a friend who incidentally was like, yeah, like I'll just, you know, he's like, hey, what do the goggles look like? And then he just made them for me. So I have that as an asset. Also, now that you mention it, I especially like the leather jacket. Yeah. The leather jacket, I did put a ton of effort into. I'm not super happy with how the shoulder turned out. But the texture, it's one of those moments. One of those moments where like I notice something and I'm like, okay. Texture, welcome on, Sagier. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Can we shout out for Sagier? Also, did you change your chat name color? I would say that you were usually like the seafoam green. No, too late. Too late. Mods, get this otter. Excellent. Thank you, Oceana. Oh yes, it's one of those things where it's like I'm so tied to my blue that I'm like I don't think I'll ever change it, but I'm tempted to like I guess I was tempted to change it to yellow for a bit, like a gold yellow, because sometimes I worry that like the dark blue ends up getting me overlooked in chats. Then they said someone made a comment about how they were confusing me with someone else, so I changed it. Then they said that that was the same color as someone else, so pink, I guess. Except Fine Point is here. I mean, listen, Fine Point. You have different shades. They're different shades of pink. Yours is like a bright pink, whereas Fine Point's almost like a fuchsia. It's closer to a purple. I do like pink. Pink is like I think pink is an underrated color. That's why with my Peck emote, wait, I can gigantify my own emotes for free, can't I? Where's my Peck emote? That's why I went with the pink tank top on this one. It was the same magnitude of difference between my green and the other person's green. I mean, I tend to be pretty good about, like, differentiate minor things. But I do appreciate pink. Cover them up, slut. Yeah, that one was from Tag. I need to get more emotes from Tag. Tag is a heckin' super sweeping. I need to get, like, I think the big thing I need is I need a bunch of animated emotes. I am tempted to get some box toy style emotes, like the guy who does, yeah, like what Xerox posted. Because like he does a lot of those, like, you know, style of emotes, and I know they're relatively, like, popular. I did a couple animateds. I'm not an animator though. Understandable. Animated is definitely like a ton of work. Like animation is so much work. You drew your clap, and then the clap and snap yourself. I've drawn a couple of emotes for myself. Join the box toy armory. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. There. I do like the blue. It's neat. All right. Oh, I just realized I need to actually. There we go. How's that look? It's looking relatively good. I think any weirdness is a result of, like, the fact that I am rendering upwards. So, like, the eyes don't necessarily look great right now because I haven't rendered those yet. I want to be able to do keyframes and do some have some who can animate piece together. I definitely want to do like fully custom animated emotes for my animations. Because, like, I think the easy animate option is genuinely great. But also I do want something like a little bit nicer, I guess. My thing has always been, like, I've got, like, I try to avoid doing a lot of the, like, really, like I don't think I'll ever have, like, a Keck emote, because those are just really common. And, like, I'm gonna be subscribed to someone who has a Keck W emote. So, like, I don't really need one for myself. So, like, I tend to skew my slots more towards like the unique style effects. Do a point one. I actually do have a point. I think it's just point. Yeah, there we go. That's also a that's another tag one. A lot of my emotes are because I had like a bunch of oh no, sorry. Point. The bird is painting. Welcome on a night like. Glad I be sweeping. Can you shout for night liken? I'm trying my best. This is basically everything bearded down has been painted. I'm very unhappy with. Look at that jacket. The jacket was actually like a ton of work. I'm looking now at this and I'm like, hold up, because I think I realized why I hate it. I think I realized part of why I'm like, this looks awful. And it's probably because it's something like this. Thanks for shout. No problem. How you holding up? How you holding up, Orion Sweet Bean? Russ has that one that's just a hand pointing, then some people follow it with Keck to be so it's super talk. Oh, that's actually really funny. Hold up, I'm tempted to do that one now. Do you have a leather jacket IRL yet? I actually do. Unfortunately, I think it's like a size too small. Gotta dress yourself in your Sona's clothes. But, you know, like it is a little small on me, I think is the big issue. So I don't wear it often. Like it's so small I don't think I could reasonably button it up and wear it comfortably. But, you know, like I here's the thing, like I want to buy so many outfits. Like if I had money, I think a lot of it would go towards buying like cute outfits for myself. And one of those outfits would probably need to be like a proper tight-fitting leather jacket. What the fuck, Swariel? All right, hold up. This is getting bumped real quick. Someone did this. Wait for it. I'm wondering how it's gonna... I'm scared. I'm wondering how it's gonna be brought in. Oh, there it is. Scatter. I didn't even notice it. It's the fucking... It's the bridge. God damn it. It's the guitar riff. Imagine if it was the Amazing Digital Circus movie, that was the credit song. To be fair, there was an anime recently that apparently ends with a Rickroll. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't good. It was just an expensive shitpost. Because they ended it with a instrumental cover of Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. What the fuck is this? Wow, rude, but also admirable. That's the level of Rickroll I would want to pull off someday. literally on a professional level, Rickroll. What is this? Raukau's Sand Canyon, Caplanus X Sand Canyon. I'm pretty sure this is the butter building theme, isn't it? This is definitely Kirby. Classic YouTube poop. Raukau is also an OG. Interesting. I've never heard of them. Shut up. You did not sneak you and Owen as her in here. It is weird, because to some degree I was terminally online from the moment I discovered the internet. But also, there's definitely sections of the internet that I just completely missed out of. Arguably for better and for worse. I definitely know, like, if I played Roblox as a kid, I think it would have overtaken my life. But in the meantime, like, instead it was Minecraft that overtook my life for a bit there. I unironically listened to Minecraft parody songs. If you're wondering the level of brain rot. As someone who played Roblox as a kid, I can say it will take over your life. All right. Yeah, I suppose we should probably start working on the fur now. So you could have missed a Minecraft. So you could have become a Minecraft YouTuber. Huge opportunity missed. I never would have become a Minecraft YouTuber. Well, here's the thing. As a kid, I didn't have the means to stream. As an adult, I can't play Minecraft anymore because it was my hyperfixation for like a solid decade, and I burned out of it so hard I can never play it again. Becoming a Minecraft user comes with the curse trademark. Yeah, that also is like I don't want to deal with the downside of becoming a Minecraft YouTuber. Yum yum, burned out hyperfixations. Welcome on in, Seth. Glad to have you, sweetie. Good show for ODR Seth. My hand tracking is not happy with me today. But it's Minecraft and Stardew Valley are like the two games I hyperfixated so hard I can't play again, which sucks because when I ran out, like when I stopped being able to play Stardew Valley, the developer then added like half of the game. He added like the island, the movie theater, like a bunch of shit that I would have loved to have interacted with, and I can't force myself to go back and like play through it all over again. Oh, same thing with Minecraft. I was obsessed with. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, that was the example for me was Minecraft. There is a game that I don't play anymore that was a hyperfixation that I don't want to get back into playing because I can't afford to, and that's Dota. I used to play Dota. I was actually pretty good at Dota too. I love to have been a PokeTuber during its early years, but now getting a modded 3DS is harder and getting it's expensive. To be fair, PokeTubers also bear the curse. Unfortunately. What happened here? This like weird geometric feature. Almost like it's actually kind of cool. TF2 is my current obsession. I hope I don't burn on it. For what it's worth, TF2 has been a like low-key obsession for me for a while. So like I don't think you're necessarily at risk of that one being like a permanent burnout. You said TF, not well. Okay, TF is also a hyperfixation, and that one's deep. But no, not transformation. Team Fortress, but also transformation is neat. What is chat? What is your preferred TF trigger? I do enjoy a bit of goo TF. TF2 is good. Never since the bot crisis ended, I've been obsessed. Yes, fair enough. Goop. Okay, so this actually is like a relatively good way of drawing like when there's a second party causing it. I'm a slime deer, plain and simple. Fair enough. Emotional triggers. So like that, like the like werewolf mode where like they get, you make them mad and then they burst out of their clothes. Yes. I'm also a big fan of like mental changes associated with transformation. Like there's an entire like TF kink chart that I need to look at. Goo, curse, magic suit, mask, potion, possession, etc. Yeah, all of those are like low-key great. It's just fun to like forsake your human form. I think that's what I'm realizing. Gotta have them Hypno TF2. That's also a lot of fun. Oh, forsake mentioned. Forsake your human form. I forgore Hypno. There's a joke to be made there. But no. 4 steaks? I can't afford 1 steak. Do you think I can afford 4 steaks in this economy? Hello? What about reality? Reality TF is also fun, where it's just like, whoops. Say farewell to old you. You've always been your Sona now. What do you mean you've always been exactly? I've always been a Borb. Oh, yeah, 2. Heck, TF is it's just fun. Or this newest sign Sona. I do like the idea of just like, or like even just like casual, just like oops, like someone's just like, yeah, you know what, you're like me when I get you and I fully spread the bird propaganda and then you just poof into a bird. My Sona's wear form has his own personality while also being his raw, unfiltered rationale. What do you mean you're not used to using your tail? Exactly. It's like, it's just good fun. I was gonna say good lighthearted fun, and I guess in a sense it is that as well, but. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff about TF. I need to learn how to do TF art myself. I found a TF tier list. Man, I love TF and I like my art now. I just know I could do TF art. I think I would definitely like. I think if I were to do TF art, I would definitely do the like, instead of like the gradual everything's changing at the same time. It would definitely be for me more the like, oops, oops, your arm is now entirely different, and then you know, like little fun details like around the form. Enchiladas are almost done. Oh my god, that sounds so good right now. I'm actually like low-key really hungry. Partial TF during the transition. Yeah, it's like you got like a little fur, like, you know, your beard is growing on your face, and then like your entire arm is just now like that of, you know, that of your target species. Fun fact, I'm watching all of you. I have a lot of OCs I need to TF with. Like if I do a human, like I'm not drawing self-worth, so I don't want some rando either. That's fair. Let's try to bring the lightness up. It's not like here. Are you getting off Twitch because you're hungry? That's why you need snacks. No, I've got another like 40-ish minutes. Making a human OC for the sole purpose of TFing them.
Spin!
Low key, that's actually like really smart, actually.
Spin!
Want me to send you the TF tier list? Sure. I'll probably do that sometime next week. Now that I work fully remotely, I do have more free time to do stuff like that with. Okay. Why make a human son when you can get yourself TF'd? That's fair. I guess like my apprehension would then be like sending visual reference of myself to an artist. So I guess I would need to draw myself so that way I could send that to the artist and be like, hey, here's visual reference of me for you to use as the TF base. I'm surprised I actually haven't gotten art like that. Because I love the style of art that like Alec gets, Alligator, who gets a lot of TF art, where like he gets a lot of it, like his real life face drawn of him TFing into his sonas. Guys, I'm browsing TF art and I suddenly spot an Alec. It's honestly kind of wild. I respect it though. Especially the Goot ones. Alec has a good pull toy taste. That's also fair. There's just something appealing about the idea of a form being so malleable for me personally. There's too many subgenre of pool. Are there subgenres of pool toys? I didn't realize that there were subgenres. That was Alex's it's also nice. Yeah, Alec is like genuinely very handsome. Oh yeah, there are. There are also dom genres. Boo, hiss. Can we bonk? Oh dear, it's Seth. Yes. Hold up, I got the sound effect. There we go. You know, like Alec is super, very, very attractive. Brain damage. It's fine. It'll heal back. They're a pool toy currently, probably. It's summer, so that's the best way to beat the heat. Is just to become a pool toy. Also, apparently there was like some drama happening around, like, good job, Starkey. I'm pool toy about half the time. Apparently there was some drama happening around the pool toy event at AC. Apparently the person who was running the event is like super problematic. Very unfamiliar with that drama, unfortunately. Yeah. What? It's someone I follow would made it like repost something about it. Apparently they silently dropped the event, so it's the summer. Someone please remove Starkey Morph's clothes. I would prefer to keep my clothes. Listen, I paid good money for this lab coat. Lab coats are expensive. I joined and he immediately stabbed me repeatedly. Your nanomachines, can't you nanomachine a new lab coat? Yes, but at that point I would technically be fully naked, and y'all give me enough crap about not wearing pants, so... Well, Sawyer has a knife next to his name, so yeah. Yeah, it does. Sawyer has been known to just kill people. What's up, Chris?
Starkey, sir, please stop giving the local goop population brain damage. It's hurting the mitosis process.
Goo, it's like, it's slimes. They're like basically immune to bludgeoning damage. Soyreal has been known to just kill people is a good quote. Also, feel free to let me know if this one's a skip. As I'm listening to the lyrics, I'm like, this is wild. I don't necessarily understand K-pop or Cupcake, to be honest. Imagine understanding music. Listen, I take fucking music theory. I watched a YouTube channel from this guy who makes interesting music theory videos about video game music. I enjoyed that. No, bad bot. Every time, Soyreal, every time you fucking spam the quotes, you inevitably summon the quote that outs you. I've seen some of those. I have no idea what they're talking about. I have, like, the vaguest idea of what they're talking about. But they're fun to listen to regardless. Because to some degree, even if you don't necessarily, like, have musical training, it's still like kind of shows you neat little details about the music in the video games that you love. What the fuck is that quote? That quote is awful. I don't remember the context for that quote. The other day I was in VC with Soyreal and I called him a brat before leaving, as I should. Dude, there's, like, my quotes are actually haunted. That is a quote. Siri had no bird facts. Unfortunate. There's something, it's something about like being live on stream definitely like brings out the part of me that like is less filtered. Chad, is this a skip? Cat facts? Skip? All right. Exactly one skip. I was like, for one skip, I will skip. So this might be one of the situations where, like... Is that anything? No. That is nothing. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's bird facts. I guess I'm gonna have to add bird facts to my own chatbots. I'll have to be the change I want to see in the world. Okay, low-key. I think I actually understand. Hold up. I think I'm cooking. I think I'm actually understanding oil paints. Cause like adding that like white here. And then I was able to come over here with this color and kind of blend it in. Yo, I might be cooking. Yes, birds are everywhere. Bird facts. Log 66 is vile. The fun fact, I'm pretty sure that's still my that's to date, still like that got turned into a TikTok. And that's, I think, to date the second most watched TikTok I ever posted. The number one TikTok was about Vor. Vor mentioned. I forgot. I forgot people here are into Vor. Shit. Fuck. I wonder why. Listen. I've never, like, I think like outside of like feet people, I think vor like enjoyers are the most dedicated to their craft. Okay, then why does vor pop off in the algorithms every time I mention vor in YouTube? I think it's because of how dedicated the vor enjoyers are, where like the instant it's mentioned, it like Starkey's on a mission to activate everyone today. Okay, fine. You know what? Fuck it. Let's activate everyone. Vor, transformation, hypnosis, musk, feet, maw play, bellies, muscles. There we go. That's a solid. All the secret agent triggers. You forgot Pits? I did forget Pits. I can't. Pronzo would be so disappointed in me. Is Pronzo officially the Pit streamer? To be fair, that's not necessarily fair. There are people. What's good? I'm left out. What is your kink? Oh yeah, that's right. Latex, leather, BDSM, chastity. I'm not triggered because you can't trigger me. Girl bosses, dominatrixes, size difference, latex mention. There we go. You only got me a message on 2 vanilla babes. I respect that. I respect the vanilla prince. You didn't know any of my kinks? Sorry, Real. We've been over this. You're a brat. A slice of vanilla sponge cake. I think I got caught with the girl boss one. With good buttercream. Exactly. Like vanilla isn't boring. There's a reason vanilla is like the base flavor. It's because it's really fucking good. If I just spelled I'm low, if I spelled out low key into cum, fair enough. Calling you a brat just to admission you don't know any of my kinks. Fair enough. Starkey, thoughts on latex vac beds? I don't really have any in particular. I guess it is like the meeting point between like if you're into BDSM and you're into latex, like that is the perfect meeting point for you. Excellent TF trigger. Oh, like being pushed through like a latex hoop, and then suddenly you're a different like you're like a goop latex version of a different species. That's a fun TF trigger. Backbed's rule though. I was about to leak one of my fetishes, but I won't. Hoop goop TF, exactly. Do it, link yo kinks. Inflatable suit TF. I mean, that's kind of just like suit TF, and then you tack on inflation. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot inflation. That's all. We also need to activate people with that. Bondage. I did say BDSM, but the bondage specifically, I guess. Yeah.
Wretch,
What's up, Chris?
where the wretch.
Why are we doing this? I forgot.
That was amazing, emptying a can of spray cheese. I can't wait to empty another spray tonight.
I am very kinky. Don't worry, Kronos. We do. We do. We've been knowing. Cheese fetish? I mean, food play is a thing. Everything's a fetish. The example of everything is a fetish for me, I think, is probably when is the sheer number of people who are surprised to find out about breath play. Luckily, I'd have to practice hypnotism in a safe work one day, but I feel like that's an inherently suspicious topic to broach. It depends on the context. If you talk to like a therapist, there are hypnotherapists out there. who who you can broach as like a safe for work topic because it is literally their job. Hypno mentioned. I didn't realize you were a Hypno fiend, Jaren. You should really go late. They're expensive. They're pricey. Those things are pricey. Especially for the high quality ones. So okay, I want to say it's the 4th time you've said that. Honestly, probably. Hypno is good. I'm to some degree caught off guard by how comfortable my community is with the idea of hypnosis. Because like I believe there was like one of those like one of Soyrill's polls was like, are you into hypnosis? And the answer was like even split yes and yes in a safe for work way. Which I think is like it's one of those things where it's like I'm glad that I exude that strong of an ace energy that you won't forget. They're rubber and latex and like being into certain kinks is definitely like you have to make pretty good money, unfortunately. How to go from being burnt out on Minecraft to this? The joys of ADHD. Like that is this stream in a nutshell. Is like you think it's gonna like you think that the conversation like is normal and then you suddenly like check back in like 3 minutes later and we're talking about something completely different. Pet suits are surprisingly affordable. I believe that. That's basically that's lycra, right? That's that material that's lycra. Certain materials require more than chucking in the drawer. Pet suits are cute. I got one for my old sauna. I'm always like, because Starkey is always going to be my main sauna, but I have had like a secondary sauna that I just slowly became unattached to. So like I can understand like where the like design, like, you know, it's like, oh, like it's the maintenance that keeps it away from me. Yeah, that's also fair. Maintenance and care for certain kinks can be very annoying. There are pet lycra suits, but also you can get a furred pet suit. I have to imagine at that point that's basically just a diet fursuit. And I mean that from the general build look. Question, would anyone here trust me to hypnotize them without performing any mischief? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sure that there are eager subjects. But I imagine that the kinds of people who would be eager to be hypnotized would also probably be more in it for the not safe for work aspect. No one says yes, you're wrong. Furred pet suits are like skin tight fursuits. Yeah. I just don't think it would work well with true hypnotism. The idea in fantasy is better than reality. That's fair. Does mind breaking count as a form of hypnotism? I don't think so. That's its own kink. That's 100% its own kink. Seth, while you're here, I'm sure Seth doesn't want to, like, you know, talk too much about stuff he's got playing with Bahamut. I would hypnotize people. I tease them because my brain's too interested in the meta in a clinical setting. I mean, I assume it's probably like more of like a guidance thing, right? Like it's probably more about like being guided to a specific place then. Okay. It's not great. It's not bad, mind. But it does, I think it probably merits a little blending. My brain is approximately 30,000 feet above my body. I'm extremely high. Make sure to hydrate, Locke. You disclose anything about his client? Sorry. Yeah, that's a fair policy. That's a fair policy to be like, hey, it's you know, technically, my tail is so soft. Are you wearing your... Wait a second, aren't you at AC? You know what? Go off. Low key. Wait, is AC is this weekend, right? Or is it next weekend? AC is next week. Okay. I was like, I couldn't remember for sure. Yeah, if I put Sorial into a trance and 100% convinced them that I'd say that saying I'm a brat is denying being a brat, and that would be how I use my power, and I don't know who would sign up for that. I think you'd be surprised. I think there are, because I feel like it's not necessarily I think that to some degree it is primarily a sex thing, but like I think I have to imagine there's got to be like people who are like, yeah, I like hypnosis and also I prefer safer work. Sorry, I just found out that there's a Texas card of Jet, and I want to get it because it's so fucking cute. Jedit Ojanen is... I'm trying to remember what that... He was in Legends, right? Yeah? Okay. My knowledge of Magic the Gathering is a little bit horrifying, even to me. That's probably like the most effort I put into an eye before, and I really like the effect that it ended up with. I hate this. Also know what the card does. If it's from Legends, I'm pretty sure it was just a bad... I don't think it did anything. It was probably just like a vanilla creature. Or it had like a single keyword. It is wild, the conversation that happened while I wasn't paying attention. Hey, would you be down to let me practice putting people into a hypnotic trance sometime for safer work purposes? And Sawyer responded, would you be willing to go on a camping trip with me to Banff? I feel like something about the... I don't know enough about Banff, but something about that does feel like you're going to murder him and hide his body in a bush somewhere in a campsite in Banff. This is fucking awful. Oh, is the reason that this meme went so viral because it has Giothe? Is that why that happens? Murderous camp trips? Listen, you just claim it's a wild animal came and got him. Everyone will believe you. Nobody will ever know. I don't know where that audio is from, but I do love that meme of the like, yeah, I'm the wild animal mauled by a deer. Hey, don't toss in a bush. Don't just toss in a bush like some amateur. Go all out and bring a shovel and a dead squirrel and some yogurt. No, they made versions with everything. Well, wasn't the original? Oh, I guess to be fair, it was probably a variation of like with Jaffe. I see. I see. I understand. I get it now. I don't get it. I don't know who Jiafei is. At this point, I'm too scared to learn. You said you watch a documentary on Jiafei during a Just Chatting stream. I hope that it'll be soon. I actually have no idea when I next want to do a Just Chatting stream. I'm sorry. Science stream when? Terrific question. Anyway. Listen, unless I get into like streaming full time, I am made of patience. Fair enough. I can't imagine I would ever get into streaming full time, because like, you know, I'm made of patience. I'll wait. That's fair. You will wait to watch me learn about Jiafei in real time. I don't know if that's dedication to me or dedication to Jiafei. Every time we ask Starkey for a stream that isn't gaming or arting, Starkey holds off for such a thing for 10 more years. What's up, Crisp?
Starkey, it's almost July. I wonder if you have anything fun planned, whether it's solo or for stream.
There are some plans we're working on. Sariel and I are working on for stream. But outside of that, nothing super in the works. We got to finish up Deltarune. That much for sure. And then Expedition 33 is probably going to be on the channel until we finish that as well. No one will ever know is from this animation. Hold up, this is... Yes! Okay, I remember now. I remember now, because he's like... He's trying to be sneaky, and he fucking says that. I hope you weren't looking forward to you know, a Vocaloid song that actually like is being sang correctly, because that's not happening. I've already like I've become somewhat immune to these variations. If you want me to react to pain and suffering, you have to freshen it up every time. My ADHD ass brain gets too used to the same stimuli, no matter how boring and no matter how bad it is. That's why at this point, like, I've actually like gained immunity to all the single furries. It doesn't make me cringe anymore. Let's discuss the next phase of the plan. When stuff we have no control over gets done. Yep. The human condition. It's the silence that's the funny sometimes. Exactly. Sometimes the real punishment is being alone with your thoughts. And by sometimes I mean most of the time. I'm pretty sure that's deeply in the universal in the human experience. Because like the number of times I've seen like, oh yeah, like someone, you know, people just don't want to think. I think that's the crux of the point I'm trying to get at. And to some degree, that is both a value judgment and also completely understandable. Check your DMs for a fight or flight response. Oh my god.
Rats. Rats. Where the rats?
When you can't sleep because it's too hot, so you're alone with your thoughts and you can't use your comfy blankets. Just shit scarier than a horror film, you know.
Just, okay, here, like, just invest in a cooling blanket. I have one of those and they slap. Okay, Loki, boy, I just got sent this from Kasai. Also, we're about to hit our last set of 3-minute ads. We want those every hour to turn off pre-rolls, so people don't have to deal with this advertisements as soon as they join the stream. Okay, it's this. I have too many fucking windows open. All right. This is the definition of someone who has a smile that doesn't reach their eyes. This is like, he's smiling this entire time, and there is not a single, like, his eyes could not possibly be filled with more murderous intent. This guy should have my shorts and I'm uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't like it. Oh god. I can't wait, thin sheets on the bed, but the cover that stays is just right. That is like the most perfect example I've ever seen of like you know when writers describe a smile that doesn't reach the eye, that's what fucking pops in my mind.
Andrew, please, please, do not push the button. You have no idea what it.
Hold on, you've made me get lost. I'm lost now. Don't release Mariah Carey! No! Stop! Don't! Release her, it's time. But think about all of the people who have to work retail. It's June. They have like at least one more full month before they have to start dealing with her. It's time to let her go. No, she must maintain containment. It's too early. It's too early to release her. Can't hold her back anymore. Is this... Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Okay, but never mind. It's not, but it's kind of a banger? It's the same chord structure. I do kind of love when songs like, because that does like songs with the same chord structure are like super remixable. So I love when like it just happens like that, and then you just like like remixers will just be like, all right, cool, we got funk these dreams or sweet dreams. How do those look? It is a banger, though. Okay. Now let's go ahead and bring in the brighter colors. Color stretch, amount of paint down. Bring the amount of paint up again.
Spin!
Spin. I am like this. I am taking some like a step back.
We're the wretch.
POV, that guy is your sleep paralysis demon.
Would you fuck your sleep paralysis demon if he looked like this? I think I would. Yes. It is kind of funny. I mean, what? It is kind of funny to some degree. Like, it's like a fine balance. But there are times where I'm like, it is actually nice. I mean, the guy DM'd you, so. But there are like times where like horny comments are actually like very welcome. I don't know. For a second, I was concerned. It's fine. Don't worry. That's nothing to worry about. Surely. All right. Imagine worrying. I don't have to. I just am always at all hours. All right. I think this is gonna be a good stopping point. We didn't quite get all of it done, but I think for first time doing a paint, like for my first time doing a painter style, this is turning out surprisingly good. I was expecting this to go way fucking worse, but I guess like, you know, to some degree, what's existential dread, but uplifting. Nothing that you do matters. Therefore, enjoy your life. All right. But yeah, let me go. I realized how long I went without saving. Oh god, I went for so fucking long without saving. All right, let's use live. I think I'm gonna try to raid into a fellow Thunderfang member. Let's see. Thunderfang. There we go. Thank you, stream. Well, thank you for hanging out. Hollow Knight music, yeah, it's my usual. It's like my wrap up playlist. Wait, I didn't realize Rokums was also Thunderfang. I also I don't think I ever have had the chance to raid into Rokums. Rokum is a big chunky cat guy, very sweet. I don't think I've ever seen him live this late though. So yeah, I think we're gonna raid over to Rokum. Let me go. Raid message. Chunky cats. Yeah. Use my emotes or who's much you happen to have. We're gonna raid over to Rokums. And let me start the raid over there. But yeah. If this is your first time here, I'm Sarkamorph, Big A Chaos Crow Internet, Rise streamer live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. EST. Mostly I play indie games, however, every Tuesday and Friday for the last year and a half, we've learned how to do smart, and I guess it's paying off. I guess like that's the weird thing for me. Like to some degree, it is paying off, which is wild. But yeah, If you'd like to stay up to date with the stream, including going live, Blue Sky is the place to be. Ask Darkymorph over on that platform. General ramblings, art that I make, that as well as art that get commissioned, all that good stuff. Food pictures, which I need to be better about making and then also posting. I have a I don't have a TikTok. TikTok exists, but I don't use it anymore because fuck TikTok. But I have a Discord if you'd like to pop in there, say hi to all Sweet Beans, see the Curse Content Sweet Beans post. Be sure to read the rules. Those explain how to get into the stream proper, or the Discord proper. Otherwise, you will be stuck in the lobby for eternity. Never shall the voices overhear thee. And then, other than that, we have YouTube. If you'd like to catch up on the VODs there, see what we've been up to. I need to cut and then upload some of the VODs from the last couple of weeks. So that might happen probably Sunday, given how things currently are going. Anyways, I love you guys to bits. Tomorrow will be, of course, more of the usual. Monday might be a little bit different, depending on how long the English exam I need to take on that day goes. So, we'll play it by ear. I love you guys. Bye! Catch you later. Need an